What's up, guys? Welcome back to season 2 of Wicked After Dark, where we talk about all things horror. Brought to you by Roasted Dead Coffee, the official coffee sponsor of Wicked After Dark. My name's Anthony, and with me tonight we got Ashley and Jess.
Hey guys.
What's up?
Manny behind the screens, Andy. As you can see, guys, to my left here today, we got a special guest with us. Somebody that we've known for a little bit now. We want to thank you for coming out. It's going to be Rey Paez.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for making the drive.
I know that's never fun.
I mean, LA, California in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I mean-
shit. Yeah,
Traffic is horrible.
yeah. And you said you came from.
Walnut.
Okay.
Okay.
So like, it should have taken me like an hour and some change, and it took me like almost 2 just because of traffic. It's purely because of traffic.
Yeah, for sure. I would have. I'm not gonna make it.
Oh, no, it's all good.
100%.
Man, and like everyone knows, they're tired of hearing our same story. We drive all the time. I'm over it, you know, because we drive out that way. So when people drive to us, I'm like, yeah.
No, the only problem for me is I hate being late. So I'd rather be early and waiting than like have people waiting for me.
Yeah.
Right.
And you were early,
Yeah.
so
We're the ones that are late.
all the time.
We can never get our stuff right. You know, there's just a lot of moving parts. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, damn it, let's get going, guys. Come on. And I messed up today for the first time in like
Yeah, guys.
a month
He
or
messed.
longer.
He messed up the intro, and Andrew deleted it, so we
But
can't
good.
show
I don't
it.
mess up, bro.
We, don't,
don't
we have to
mess
put
up.
a blooper compilation together. People like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe the coffee was too good for me. You know
Yeah,
what
I mean, the
I don't know.
half of it's
It's
gone.
already gone. I'm sorry, guys, but I have drinking half of my coffee today, and it's called the Dollface.
Yes.
Which is a raspberry mocha.
Ooh.
Dude, delicious.
It is good. I tasted it.
It
Let me
is
try it.
delicious. No, can't. It's against the law,
It's
bro.
blended. You had a blended drink.
Yes, I did. It was it blended?
Yeah, it's blended.
Oh, damn. It's good, dude. Fun fact, real quick. I know I don't want to cut you off,
no.
Ray. I used to work at Dairy Queen when I was like 15, 16 years old. That was my first job. And we used to have this blizzard called the raspberry truffle.
Yeah, it tastes like it.
Okay? And it was delicious. It was raspberry sauce with truffle pieces, and you mix it all. This is it right here.
Yeah, it
This
tastes
is
just
it, and
like
it's
it.
amazing.
He's sipping his childhood right now.
Yes. Well, here, when they discontinued it.
Oh, yeah.
So after a while, you couldn't get it anymore. You know, you're like, damn.
Well, I mean, even Dairy Queens in general, they're like going away.
yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like it.
I don't
You
even know
know,
where they're at anymore.
it's unfortunate.
one
There's one
right
down
here?
the street.
Oh, okay, so I'll come down here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it though.
But delicious, guys. I definitely recommend 10 out of 10 for this one
Yeah.
if you're a fan of
So
raspberry.
what did you get?
This is the Dollface.
Nice.
Or right?
Yeah.
Dollface raspberry mocha.
Blended.
Freaking delicious. Amazing. I get it with no whip,
Yeah,
but that's me. What'd you get, Ash?
I got a Reagan blended. Yeah, which is just a matcha, with oat milk, cause I'm an oat milk gal.
Yeah, you're not
I don't
basic.
do cow milk. Since I was little though, I don't know what it was, and growing up, our parents, the groceries were expensive for 4 kids, and I hated milk with a passion growing up. And every time I'd eat cereal and dump,
leave the
dump the
milk,
milk
yep.
down the drain.
Yeah, what a waste.
But I would have to do it like when my mom or dad weren't looking, or I would give it away. But if my mom was looking, because she wouldn't drink it, she was like, "What are you doing? That's a waste of milk." I'm like, oh, here we go. I hated it.
Really?
To this day, I don't drink it. Cow milk.
That's why you're weak.
Well, that's why I'm 5'2", but whatever.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I had the matcha. It's really good. Reagan.
Oh my god.
What
Well,
do you
I
got?
have Children of the Oats, which
Yeah,
is
you
just
always
like
do get that.
that's not true. Last time I had something different.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Anyways,
My bad.
I think it's is it espresso?
Yeah,
Or cold brew.
it's an espresso drink.
Espresso with just oat milk. That's it.
We want to say don't quote us, but it's really good.
But something like that.
Yes, and then we did bring Ray a drink as well.
Yeah, I got the Reagan, and it's kind of funny because The Exorcist,
Uh-huh.
I barely saw it like 10 years ago.
Okay.
Damn. I was like, this is like in the
Yeah.
70s, no big deal. Like, sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but
No, you're good.
but that one scene where she grabs the cross and she starts like,
Yeah.
I was like, I was with my buddy and I was like, what? Like, this is not cool, man.
We should
Yeah.
we should not watch this.
Yeah, like I'm not cool. Like, yeah. So I was like, should I get it? But I love matcha. So
Okay.
Yeah.
so,
Okay.
It just feels wrong, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this doesn't feel right.
Change the name.
Yeah, That's. I actually just seen that movie too, not too long ago.
I wish that I would have saw that movie when it came out, like in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine being in that time, being in the 70s, right? And you see that film, you're like, dude, something's way off.
Specifically that scene, because in the 70s, that's very like controversial
100%,
religion, and
100%.
that's happening. That's very uncomfortable.
It's an
It was
uncomfortable situation.
uncomfortable in like what
Now.
10 years ago.
Right.
I'm like in this. I would have imagined in the 70s.
Yeah,
that would've been
people were
crazy.
losing their shit over
Yeah,
that. Like,
yeah.
no, this
That
is
movie dropped there like,
ridiculous.
damn, that's how you call
And-
breaking barriers.
And The Exorcist, I want to say, is one of the horror films that won an award. No, what was it? Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure.
We're gonna have.
My dad's
our-
looking it up
yeah, we're
behind
gonna
the
But a
behind
fact
the scenes
checker over here.
Fact check, but I'm almost pretty sure.
They won like an award
Yeah.
for something.
Yeah. I could be wrong. Like, nah, bitch, wrong movie. But look, see, we're off tangent. We're off tangent already.
See, it already happened.
Shout out to Roasted Dead.
No, but I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about because like in the just to see a movie for the first time on screen like before even like the concept was invented
Yeah.
is like I wish
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for coming out. Thanks for having some
Coffee
coffee
with us?
Oh no, thank you.
and
guys.
chatting with us today about yourself. So your company name is
Rey
your
Paez, my name.
illustrations or art.
Art. I honestly, it's funny because when I was starting to do like when I was like kind of getting into it, like into what I mean is like doing my own art, trying to like make it, being an artist. I always had all these friends telling me, "Hey, what's your name? What's your like shop name? What's your this name?" And I'm like, I don't have one. It's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's literally just me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it my name. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like what's at the forefront.
Right.
Right. Yeah, because I know a lot of artists want to use a different name for their art, or so they'll have like a signature name. And a lot of artists, like even book authors, won't even have their real name on it.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. Like, you use your actual name because a lot
Yeah.
of people don't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
They'll have a cover name. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is, a secret, like like
Yeah, kind of like the Obey
in
guy, right?
case.
The guy who does the Obey
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
really.
I mean,
Ferris or
something like that. Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know his name.
He's obviously hiding his identity, and but that goes back years.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. But that's awesome. So how long have you been doing your business?
Well, okay,
Or or art even.
Art, yeah. Let's take it back further than the business.
gosh. Well, I'm old. I'm a lot older than a lot of people that like a lot of friends and everything. But during my 20s, I kind of said, you know what? Like, this isn't gonna work. Like I gotta just get like a career that's like more sustainable.
Right.
So I was trying to just do like print technology. I was getting into print technology, and also graphic design. But then in like 2010-ish, I actually met Rick from Say the Pandas.
Okay.
Okay.
And I don't know if he hit me up or I hit him up, and he wanted me to be a part of a show, and I was like, all right, I'll do it. And then I just kind of met him, and I saw, oh, there's people doing this, like you could do this.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like I guess kind of fully for about 13 years.
Oh, wow.
Where I kind of like said, okay, I'm gonna go all in. So about like 13 years, I would say.
Wow.
Oh, wow, that's
And then what
awesome.
kind of art do you do? Are we talking like drawing? Are we talking like on a computer, on an iPad? You know what I mean?
A lot of my stuff now, just because it's easier to get it like on products.
Okay.
If it's like my own stuff, it's typically digital.
Gotcha.
A lot of people do like hand painted things,
Yeah.
or they'll commission me for that. But typically digital.
Okay.
Okay.
So like on an iPad,
On
where
an
you'll draw it
iPad,
out.
yeah, I do an iPad. A lot of stuff on iPad, like a Wacom tablet. Sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Dang. So when you first started, though, obviously it was
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It was like
there was no
the
iPad
ancient
for that.
days.
paper.
You use like pen and paper.
yeah. That's-
He was like a sharpener. And, no. But how was that an adjustment? You know what I'm saying? Like adjusting to the iPad or to the electric.
There was a time. So I got onto like I don't know if you guys have heard of the program Procreate. Now it's like everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
But when I got into it, it was already over 10 years ago when it was like brand new. The program was like very limited. It was super tough at the time. But like after so many years, seeing how easy it is to just pull out like an iPad, it just got easier. It got easier and easier and easier. And now I rarely sketch on paper.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I try to because it's important to like get better. But man, nowadays, and you're kind of like time is limited,
Yeah.
and then you're like, I better be working on something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right,
Like,
right,
You don't have time to flip paper.
Yeah,
and-
yeah, a lot of I don't have time to be just like having fun as much.
Yeah.
Much, you know?
Right.
So
Which is
Dang.
easier to double tap on your screen and erases for you.
You see,
know?
we
Yes.
we even know what Procreate is,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we don't know how to draw for shit.
everybody knows
Yeah.
what that is.
Yeah, we all have the app, and
I-
now you pay for it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I don't know if you have to pay for it.
You did. It was like under $3 before though. Now it's I think like I think
I think it's like
10 to
10,
20
yeah.
or something.
I mean, it's
I have it. I don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Back then you could only use like 3 layers or something like that. Now you could have like
Multiple.
bunch.
Like a
of
lot.
layers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just you see there you go. You get a little bit of history there. Where you get the evolution of the app.
Yeah.
You know, it all just for me it always trips me out. Like you, for example, you went from drawing, every day on sketch pads and paper to transitioning into, the technology of the Procreate programs, and so you got to make that jump,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'll still. Literally, when I mean doodle, I mean straight doodle because I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
no drawing ability, and it's still like, man, I just don't feel it's different than drawing on a piece of paper, I guess, right?
It is,
It's
I
a
mean,
little bit different.
yeah,
So it trips me out to see that jump, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah.
from
And-
sketching to the iPad.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it's hard for like every artist, and I get
Right.
people contacting me going like, what do you like? What do you suggest? And I mean, it's just not going to be the same. Like you're drawing on glass.
Right.
I mean, the thing that I tell people is buy like there's like paper like screen. It's like stuff like that you
Yeah.
can do, but it's like regardless, it's not going to be the same.
Right. Right.
you know?
Right.
It's
Yeah,
going to be
and-
different.
I mean, I tried and I can't.
It's difficult. It's
It is.
difficult. You got to have patience.
I
you
mean, I
know?
wish one of us had that artistic bone in our body, but none of us do. There's 4 of us, and none of us can do it, and
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
crazy.
I mean, Jessica kind of mastered it a little bit
a little bit.
with
She's
the
like,
stickers. And,
yeah.
Minimum, guys. Bare minimum.
She's
Don't
like,
even put me up there.
she's like, don't put me on that pedestal.
like-
I don't deserve it.
She's like, nah, not me.
You know
But
what? You're pretty
Cricket-
good at like sketching certain things. I can see you do that.
Okay, I guess.
I can't even do the. I can't even be honest. I can't sketch. Like I can't. I don't know what it is.
You can't trace?
No.
Oh shit. Yeah.
You're like
Yeah,
maybe
that's
it goes
true.
farther than not being able to.
No, that's not true. She draws some of our like bestseller
Yeah.
little stickers,
Stop, don't hate me.
and she would be like,
She
okay,
says
but
stuff.
I need because I cut out all of our stickers, and I was just like, okay, I need a layer behind it so I don't cut the actual sticker. So she gives me her iPad, and I had to do it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's how you do it.
Yeah.
She doesn't even look at me do it. She's just like, go
Yeah,
ahead.
no. I did the little sketch. You can figure out. Yeah.
She's like, you do the rest. Come on.
But it's funny because at my age, people my age are really good at technology. And I don't know what it is. I suck at it. Like, I'm really bad at it. And even my dad's better at it than me. And, no offense to my dad, but he's up there in age, But when he has to
I
fix
think
my phone.
you know what? I think it's more that
You have no patience.
people his age got excited for the technology,
I
so they
think-
learned it. Like us, we grew up. I mean, me, I'm still kind of on that edge because I was born, a while ago. So I grew up in an era where I didn't have a computer or YouTube and stuff like that. But for someone like him, he's just like,
He's like, oh my God, an iPhone.
no. When you should have seen him when he had the BlackBerry when they first came out
Oh,
with
yeah.
the trackball. He thought,
yeah.
he thought,
He's
dude.
invincible.
Oh,
Was it the
man.
ones that used to like pull out a little?
Yeah,
pencil
I
too?
remember those
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those were cool. My mom
So
had one.
stylus.
The
I had
stylus
one.
Now
Yeah.
you have literally the power of a computer right here.
at your hand.
You know what? I think it's the same. They're both the same. Meaning, like drawing and technology in general.
Uh huh.
The people sometimes when people say, "Oh, I just don't get it," it's just because you don't have really that strong interest.
Right.
So like
Right.
like when I like trust me, people are like, "Oh my God, you're so talented," and I'm like, "Bro, I've spent hours and hours drawing. I had an ex-girlfriend, and my ex-girlfriend told me, "Could you just stop? Could you just put it down?"
You're like,
And
no.
I'd be in bed like this, like sketching, and I'm like, it's just my passion.
Right.
I love it. So I feel like if you love it, you'll do it.
Right.
You'll learn it.
Right.
So
Yeah. I don't think I love it enough to try to figure it out because
No, I think he hit the nail on the head with that, because it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for us would be horror, right? I mean, I've been in the horror thing for over, 12 years now, and it's not necessarily successful 12 years, but because I love it, you stay true to it and you just keep doing it in some form.
No,
in some form. We continue to do it.
I think that that's been my biggest thing that I've learned recently is if you're passionate about something, like you love, you're like almost like obsessive about something, you're going to succeed eventually.
Yeah.
Like if you stick to it, it's those people that kind of go like, all right, it didn't work out. Peace out.
Yeah.
It will work. You know what I mean? It will happen.
Just
Being
staying
consistent. Yeah.
Consistent and just sticking to it for like, because I think that the most important thing is knowing that you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
Like you know, like I don't know if you've seen like shops or different artists where you're like, I could tell you're not passionate about.
Yes,
that.
yes,
And
yes,
you don't
yes.
want to buy like their stuff or whatever.
100%.
You know? That's how I feel. That's how I
Now
feel.
let me ask you. I don't know. I don't know if I don't want this to be too personal, but you know, you do this for a living. You know, now does it ever? You know, for us, it does hit home sometimes. You know, where you're drawing, and maybe sometimes you have a month or 2 months where you don't get the commissions, you don't have the commissions. Does that ever like mess with your mentality as far as like, God, maybe this isn't working for me anymore? Or how does that treat you?
I mean, definitely. There was a few months, and I think it happens like a couple of times, like a year, you know, where things get slow. You know, things get slow, and you kind of go like, "Oh shoot, like what's going on?" You know,
Yeah.
especially like since lockdown and
Right.
all that, things have been like super weird. But the one thing that I know and I've thought about is that regardless of if I'm making money or not, like I'm gonna be creating.
Right.
So like, it's like I'm gonna be doing this no matter what.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right,
it's-
right.
I guess it just matters if I'm gonna just do this full time
Yeah, right.
or go work at McDonald's. Or
right.
So, but it always gets better and things always happen. Where you're like, oh no, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that sign always comes through
Yeah,
right on the
yeah.
perfect. You know, because I know for us, for example, that hard month just happened where January was like, what are we doing, guys? Like,
Yeah.
are we? Who's gonna go work where? Dairy Queen's down the street, you know, the casino's down the street. Like
Yeah.
it was like that, you know.
yeah.
But again, I think we always come back to like, okay, find a solution because this is what we do. You know, this is what we love.
Yeah, it goes back to like, why are we doing this?
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, it
And
goes
it's not,
back to that
and I'll
initial
tell you, it's
thought.
not that we're lazy, you know, because all of us are more than capable of working. You know, Jessica came from a couple years with Nike before she started here. Ashley left a casino job making really good money there, you know. So it's just like, okay, we know how to work, but it's kind of like my dad always says, do you put in your time somewhere where you're always going to get what you do, you know what I mean? Or you kind of put in the time where this is what you love.
Yeah.
You're going to put your passion into it, right, to make it work. So,
I think there's like two kinds of people, and whatever works for you works
Right.
for you. There's a kind of people that go, hey, I want a full-time gig where I'm working for somebody. At least I'm getting
right,
much
that
paycheck.
Friday comes.
And that's cool, whatever. But then there's people like me where I'm like, I have like a passion, man. Like,
Yeah.
And I love creating.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to put my effort into,
See, that's...
you know?
Yeah.
So,
You don't want to work for the man. You want to work for yourself.
yeah. And I love doing work for people, but doing what I love.
Right.
Right.
You see, that's awesome.
awesome.
Because you know and we know how hard it is to stay consistent and to stay loyal and true to working for yourself, you know, and to keep going and to keep driving. Because I think one of the girls just told me we're coming up on 3 years. And
Next
to
month.
still keep pushing, you know what I mean? Like, okay, we've come a long way, don't get me
yeah,
wrong,
yeah,
from
yeah.
a little company that couldn't get into any events to like now
Throwing
we're
our
throwing
own-
major
Yeah,
events,
exactly.
right? So it's just you got to keep on that grind, man. Like you said, if you're passionate about it,
Exactly.
you're gonna make it work.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's gonna work. It's gonna happen. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, go ahead, Ash. I'm going everywhere. What's your next?
Okay, so you said you went to you went to school for graphic design.
Yeah.
And then, so what made you transition to illustrating?
Well, so like I've always, during my 20s, I think it's when I drew the least. And that's when I was going like to college. I was going to like print technology to work at like some print shop, and then I was doing graphic design. And then I met my friend Rick from Say the Pandas. And honestly, I think that was the one moment in my head where I went like, oh, dude, he used to actually vend or have like a booth at Frankenstein's.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, I live like, because that's where I live like literally 5 minutes from there.
Okay.
And I go, like, I'll come meet you. Like, I'll come meet you. So I met him. He wanted me to do a show. And then I was like, I just kind of dawned on me, this guy's doing this full time. If this guy could do it full time, like maybe I can do it full time. And so that's like when I kind of went like, maybe I should give it a try.
That's when you
Yeah.
said, fuck college.
Yeah, I was like, what? What am I doing?
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here.
Deuces. The same for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They both graduated college, so I'm the only one as of now that's like, you know what I mean? But anyway.
It's all right. Not everyone. College is not for everyone.
No,
No.
it isn't, and I mean, it's great. It's totally great.
Right.
I just feel like it not that it depends, because I could have even gone that route, even doing art.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's not really necessary, and
Right.
for what I want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, definitely. If,
Crazy, my bad. Crazy you mentioned that, because I got actually buddies, really, really good friends of mine that I still talk to today that worked with me in the past on these Halloween projects.
Mm-hmm.
They both have college degrees in like graphic design, and the other one's in some type of media, and they both are actually using those degrees. One of them works for this brand that makes soaps, and the other one works for, designing and stuff. So I was like, damn, they're actually using those damn degrees. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I would have never thought. Again, for example, me, I'm majoring in them in business management. You know what I mean? It's like, I guess I can go manage a restaurant. You know what I mean? Or a firm. I don't know. You
Right.
know what I mean? But
well, I got mine in business management. Technically, I'm using it.
technically, yeah,
Same.
you're running a business. You guys are running a business.
Mine
you know,
is in
so
business.
But I'll be honest, I still don't know what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing.
You know what? No one knows it.
No one knows.
I was
I
just
don't
saying
know what
that.
I'm doing.
We're all
Nobody knows
just,
what they're
we're
doing.
just going through the simulation at
The
this
motion.
point. The motion
Hey,
of life.
Bob up at Disney don't know what he's doing either, okay? You know what I mean? He's just like, hey, I'm back, guys. Yeah. He got lucky.
Right.
So everybody wants
He
him back.
already changed a lot of things though.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
You could park hop at 11 now. You can freaking the prices are going
And
down.
look at her Disney adults coming
I
down.
know. She's like,
Relax,
whoa, don't
relax.
don't attack the homie Bob like that. I'm like this with him.
So, when did you decide, like, your illustrations and your artwork, you wanted to make that into your business? Like, you wanted to start a business for yourself?
Well, to be honest, like that was like I said, like now I guess like 10 years ago
Okay.
now, was when I kind of said, okay, I'm gonna just do this full time. The hard part is that I have so many different passions, like interests. I think that's been kind of the hard part,
Right.
figuring out which way I want to go with my work.
Right.
You know, and it's still like evolving.
Yeah.
So I think that's
And what kind of... So, it's not... You don't strictly do Halloween.
no, it's definitely one of my like passions.
Yeah.
Like, I'm way more of a like classic horror fan, like
Yeah.
Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, those are that's my jam, or even like 80s, which like Critters, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
my thing. But I don't stick to just that. For
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's
Okay.
so cool though, because it gives you a wide range of direction you can take. You know what I mean? And I've always said that about. I hate going back to us, but because when we do events, for example, it's like, well, we're gonna do horror events because we got horror
That's
things,
all we do.
and that's
Yeah.
all we do. But
Yeah.
artists like you and even Rick with Save the Pandas, he can go horror, he can go,
Disney.
Disney theme, he can go any other. You guys can do whatever direction
Yeah.
it takes you, and be able to do those events and
Yeah.
shows, and so
Yeah.
that's always cool, and it works for
Yeah.
the advantage, I think.
I mean, I think it works a lot of times, but I feel like sometimes, we do hear a lot people going, "Is this guy like I love Star Wars, right?"
Right.
And then they see me doing horror stuff, and then they go like, "Do you really like Star Wars, or
Right.
do or like I like horror stuff?" And they're like. Then they see my Star Wars stuff and they're like, "Are you really a horror fan?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I like more than just
Yeah.
one thing."
Right,
you know?
right,
Like, there's more
right.
than one genre.
That's me.
Yeah.
actually-
I love Star Wars too. Me, my dad, and my brother. We're nerds about that. They don't. They don't.
I
ever know
mean,
what we're
I
talking
enjoy
about.
Star Wars. Don't get me wrong.
No.
I do.
I
like
was
it.
about to walk out.
But like this guy right here will talk to you about in episode 4, 23 minutes in, this is what he meant by that saying right there. We're like, dude, really?
I'm kind of a little bit like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
not me. I saw it. Yeah, it was good.
Oh, yeah,
It was good. Yeah. That fool got eaten. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm not a Star Wars fan. Sorry.
Ashley's one
Ashley's
edge horror, and that's it.
No.
100 Oh, Hello Kitty too. My bad.
Oh my god, you're gonna put me on blast right now. Okay. Look,
She's a
people.
book nerd. Like she loves reading books.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you really want to put me on blast if you say that. No.
Twilight.
Oh, man. Oh,
There you go. There
really?
you go.
Really?
She's like, it's horror. They're vampires.
So as long as you didn't like that one show with the vampires on TV.
The Vampire Diaries?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was
Please.
my that was
She
my
has a
jam.
blanket in the back.
with them
that.
on there.
I cannot-
With them on
okay,
there.
like-
Hey, he's about to be like, yeah, I'm gone.
I'm done. She said no to Star Wars, but okay. So I had one girlfriend that started watching it at one point, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. And like sometimes they're like, oh, watch it with me. I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. I started watching it. Then I like went to another. I got another relationship a few years later. She was watching it, and so I was watching it with her, and I told her, babe, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't. And the thing that I had the gripe with that is it was very like Damon or whoever died. And the next week it's like, oh, we brought him back to life.
Yes.
somehow.
Yeah,
yes,
he's a
that's true, that's
vampire.
true.
He's
Yeah,
gonna come
dude.
back.
And that's like my little thing.
Yeah.
If someone just die.
And stuff. Man, you see how I had to put me on the spot like that, okay?
My wife and mom, my wife and mom are big fans of the show too. So again, I've been doing this for a long time.
And yeah, they have bourbon. All right.
Oh, the two guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife has the bourbon.
Yeah, she has it.
Anyway, so we took my mom and my wife one day to Tennessee because we had a show in Tennessee. And my dad was like, you know what? Let's take them so they can see how hard it is to do these shows. It's not just fun and partying. And they were dead, by the way. Anyway, but the two actors in the Vampire Diaries were going to be there.
Which
So they
is-
got to
yeah.
meet them and all that, and that just made their whole
Ian
damn
Somerhalder
trip.
and Paul
you know.
Wesley, come on.
Whatever.
Put their
You
names.
know what I mean? So they got all excited over that, and I was like,
I mean, they're
Wow.
good-looking dudes.
I
I mean, come on.
I guess,
Man, I've only watched the show 3 times. Stop. Okay.
That's a lot because there's so many episodes.
I know.
Did you watch like what was it called? Like there was like the spin-offs.
Yeah.
Oh,
The originals?
originals?
Yes, I did. Anyway, enough about me. Enough about me.
Anyways, back
Yeah.
to Star Wars.
And if you say you don't like Twilight, stop lying to yourself.
Nate, I'd rather watch High School Musical before I watch Twilight,
Oh,
dude.
my God.
You know,
The High School Musical is good too. And back to you. Back to
there's
you.
no, there is no Twilight Land.
Mando, yes, it's coming back March 1st. March 1st.
Now
Don't talk to me.
that show gets me so excited.
Yes.
That is a good show.
Isn't
It's-
that what's his name?
Pedro
Yes.
Pascal, yes.
I just figured out who that was because of the new show that just came out with him in it. What's it called? The
The
Last
Last
of
of
Us.
Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good show. I like it.
Which
She
one?
said, I barely found out
The
about
Last
him.
of Us.
Last of Us. Oh, I heard it's great. I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
I didn't know who he was, and my husband's like the Mando. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I was like,
Yeah, whatever.
I'm sorry to go on a tangent, but The Mandalorian.
It's great.
It's a good show. It's a good
no,
show.
It's great.
I literally could watch an episode and be like, play again.
really?
Okay.
It's like that.
It's like
No,
that.
yeah, it's
I mean,
good.
for me,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just like every episode for me
Yeah.
is like a great movie.
You see, and okay, so I like
I
the show
agree.
too. I watched it, and my dad will be like, "Yeah, that was post episode 4, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, you know what I mean? It's like that's before this, and after that,
In
you're like,
his head, he
damn.
has a
Well-
track record.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
because we all watch it, like we love that show, and my dad was like, "Okay, let's figure out the timeline. Like, when is this?" And we were sitting down, like,
It is
okay,
tough though to figure out the timeline out for that show.
Yeah, because Luke is in it, and, he's
And then you
young,
find
and
out
you're just
that
like, what?
What everybody's calling Baby Yoda isn't actually Yoda. You're like, shit. What do
No,
you mean?
it's Grogu.
You know,
Yeah.
that broke my heart a little bit. So,
But they still call him Baby Yoda though, so
Yeah,
it's alright.
they'll do it forever.
and
Okay.
now that thing walks around Disney. They have
Not
the
walks,
character.
but
The
the
little
yeah.
one?
Well, the
Both of
the
them.
Mando carries it in the
Pouch.
in the pouch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's like the biggest thing right now. Like, oh,
No, whenever I go to Disneyland, I could totally hang out, like at the bar.
Yeah.
I could be there all day.
we got to give the bar second chances because we went like right when
Right
it
when it
opened.
opened.
Jess is like, "Hey, I got like reservations." I was like, "Cool, let's
Yeah,
do it."
right.
No,
But
I
it was
can't
like,
wait.
but it was like, okay, you have to order these drinks and you only get 30 minutes
You
to
have
put
to
it down
like,
and
1,
get
2, 3,
out.
drink
Like,
it.
oh,
Hurry
shit.
up, get out.
Yeah.
No. It was okay. Sorry to cut you
No,
guys
no,
off.
no.
It was I had you remember when they before the Star Wars land even opened, they like gave it to past members like, oh, this is your chance to go in before.
Uh-huh.
So I got everyone
I
like a
wasn't
pass
even
for that
21
day.
yet.
Like yeah, and they gave us bracelets and everything, and then we got to go in before everyone else.
We had
And
to
then
go to
that's
that
why that's
dome,
how I yeah.
the big round dome at Tomorrowland, and check in,
Check
get our
in, get
badges.
your-
It was
your
like, It
bracelets.
was like early.
Yeah.
Yeah, like early.
Like cast member preview kind of almost.
Yes,
Kind of,
I
yeah.
remember when the opening for Star Wars Land, and my dad
Ashley was sitting there like, "This is
I was
stupid."
like, yes, this is so fun. I'm just kidding.
So I have a friend and he plays. Oh, I mean, he's like Chewbacca. He's Chewbacca.
Okay.
Okay.
So one day he came out. He was talking to me, and he was telling me that like even if you, like outside of the bar, you see bullet holes. And he's like, see the bullet holes? He's like, that was because this guy was actually cheating on like the owner of Olga's Cantina, and he was coming to like shoot to kill him. And like, so there's like storylines to like this stuff or whatever.
Damn.
It's like he was, I mean, I didn't really like get into like, I don't know much, but he was telling me that there's a lot here that like people don't really know.
Yeah.
You know?
I think
Like
it's cool.
little details.
See, that's
Little details.
when they do stuff like that. It's that's when you think of Disney like these fools on
Different
another level.
level.
Yeah.
Like just for that, for example, the bullet holes, or you know, even Indiana Jones, the queue line has a lot of things like that. You know, it's just crazy to think of how they're thinking of the detail, and I like how they're doing it now. Where the wristband that you buy, or
oh
what's
yeah,
it
the
called?
magic band.
The magic band,
The
it's
bounty hunter,
interactive.
bounty hunting,
and you're
that's
like,
pretty cool.
Now it's like, okay, I might think about that. You know, because when we go to Florida, we have the magic bands there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
of course,
You
California
can't
is
use,
different.
you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
use
You
that
know?
one.
Yeah.
So, you know Disney how they do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You gotta make an extra
Oh,
$30.
I know, gosh.
No,
Do
wait.
you have
that's
passes to Disney?
Yeah, I have a Disney pass,
Oh,
and I've been to
okay.
Disney World 3 times.
Oh, okay.
So I love it there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
I'm
do
a
too.
big kid.
Okay, he's
That's me.
adult.
I'm a nerd of like all things though. Like
I used to be.
Disney, Star Wars.
I used to be very
horror.
hardcore Disney.
You used to be.
When
yeah.
I was a teenager,
But
but,
now
now
you
that I
have
have kids
kids.
and I gotta pay for them too, I'm like, nah, hold up, because we have passes too. You know,
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
hold up.
Easily, like just like eat, like having dinner there.
Yeah.
You're like you're spending a fortune.
Oh,
No, and
yeah.
again, my sister's when she says Disney, her and her girlfriend are Disney nerds, right? So we've been to like, hey, let's hit this buffet. It's only $60 a person, and you're thinking like $60. Hold on, I got 3 of
But
us.
it's
What
all
do
you
mean?
can eat.
Shit, you
The
know what I mean?
kids,
So
the kids are cheaper.
but we've done that, right? We've
Yeah,
done
yeah,
the interaction. What's it called? The
Disney
Storytellers
dining. Oh.
Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went for his daughter's birthday.
Did you hear
Like,
me? Like I know what I'm
She's
talking
like
about.
Disney dining, like what?
I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know.
She just goes
I
along
just
for the
show
ride.
up. I just show up. I don't even book my days
No?
for Disney.
No, I do
Jessica
it.
does it
They
for
said,
her.
"Hey, give me your phone. We're going March, whatever." I'm not.
She literally only has a pass because of my kids.
Yeah.
So you're not a
Literally.
Disney fan either? Oh,
During Halloween,
no.
she
During
is.
Halloween.
She's a California Adventure fan because you could drink there.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm there
Dang,
too.
don't make me sound like that.
Sorry.
She's like, the Michis are delicious.
It's very spicy. But talking about Star Wars and how you're a big fan, I know you did some work with Star Wars.
Yeah.
For what was that?
Tops.
Tops.
Yeah. So like, it's been a while now. I got contacted by Tops, and at the time I kind of didn't even really. I didn't know that they did stuff like with other licensed work, like for example, Walking Dead,
Right.
like Star Wars, and others, and like what was it Stranger Things?
Yeah.
And they contacted me. I spoke to them, and they said, "Hey, would you want to be part of our sketch card, like editions?"
And for those of you who don't know where tops are, those are baseball cards.
Like
Well, they're
collectibles.
cards in general, like
Okay.
collectibles.
Okay,
like,
just
you
to
know,
put that out
they-
because I
they-
didn't know. So I mean, if you
so
don't know what
there's,
that is,
you know,
they're
baseball
collectibles.
cards, football cards. Now they're doing like again, Star Wars cards and Walking Dead. So
And they
it's
reached out to you to do
cards.
some Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, so I did like on my first it was I mean for me it was crazy because the first one was the Rogue One movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, right, cool. Like I don't remember if the movie had even come out yet. So I don't think it had. So I didn't know the characters that well from
Right.
the movie. But we did get a list and we got like a requirement for like what you can do. I had to do like 100 cards the first time in like a month.
Now this was hand drawn
Hand-drawn.
each card.
They're like special edition because you know like Topps cards are like
Yes, yes.
collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they do these little things where they want people to like be even more.
Yes, which they do, which they still do
Mm-hmm.
for the sports packs. So their sports cards that's why they're so expensive. I
Yeah.
don't know if you remember Albert bought the 100 pack in Florida because you have a possibility of opening that pack. And for example, what he did in one of those packs, it could be you know a signed card from that player. It could it's potential again.
Yeah.
If he did 100, they're selling thousands
Yeah,
of
there's like
packs.
thousands. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
man.
Thousands.
So,
Oh, okay.
and I mean, I'm obviously not the only artist working on
Right.
them. There's like probably another like 50 artists or 20 artists, whatever. And I remember when I did that. I know that like some people are gonna be like, "What's that?" But Toys R Us was still around. So I went to Toys R Us down the street and I got like the whole pack because they were right there. And I was like, oh my god.
Did I get one?
Yeah. And I didn't get any. I didn't get any of my
way.
own. But it was cool to see.
Did you get to sign like your card when
Oh
you were
yeah,
done?
you actually in the back they actually send you a pin
Okay.
that you have to mail back to them. But I
Gotcha.
guess the pin is like, I mean, honestly, I don't know. It's a special pin, and you sign the back with your name and everything. So it's
Oh,
like,
that's cool.
Wow. So there's like 100 people in the world that have one of your cards.
Of that set, yeah, because I did several other sets too.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So
That's
when
awesome.
that project came out, he's like, "Don't even pay me. It's all good, man."
I'm like,
fan,
no, I'm like,
big
pay
fan.
me, man.
You're like, the amount of hours you stayed up, I'm
Oh,
sure.
man.
No, well, I mean, it's my fault because I had like a month for that set, and I literally waited till the last week to do the whole 100. I was like, oh my god.
Here we go. Another R2D2.
Yeah. And actually, that one had no duplicates, so you had to draw someone different every time.
my god.
Damn.
Yeah. So like one time I did like all or not all the aliens, but a bunch of aliens from the Cantina scene.
Okay.
Okay.
In Star Wars. And so like I went and did research and like I found all the different aliens in there, and everyone was different. So I had fun with that.
Right.
But sometimes they'll be like, okay, we want some duplicates, so people could have like there's more chances of you getting Luke or whatever.
Right.
So,
Like the popular.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool though. But that's not the only project you worked on as far as that goes, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been really lucky because like I know that only my friends know this, but I'm like a big scaredy cat, right?
Okay.
So I'm a big scaredy cat. So like when I like horror, I like a lot of the cheesy stuff.
Okay.
I like the monsters, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right? But I also got like I've been asked to do stuff with like Not Scary Farm. So I've done I've been a part of their art show.
Oh, okay.
I've done like the Golden Haunt Awards, which is like something in the back that they do for their scare actors.
Yeah.
I've also done stuff for it's this company called Cakeworthy.
Okay.
And they contacted me and said, "Could you do something for Trick or Treat?" And I was like, "Okay, cool." I mean, I had seen the movie like once, and I was like, I don't know. And then I saw it again, like when I was gonna do the project, and I was like, "Okay, I actually do really like that movie."
Yeah.
So I did that, and then just last year I did a Hocus Pocus thing for them.
Oh, nice.
And the cool thing about both of those projects that I learned is for Trick or Treat, what they told me is the actual director approves every design.
Oh, wow.
That's the one thing that I thought, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, because it's all like licensed work.
Right.
The other thing that when they contacted me to do Hocus Pocus is they told me, whatever you do, try not to draw them like the actors.
Okay.
And they're like, if you see Winifred, or you draw Winifred, try not to make her look like Bette Midler or whatever. Try
Right.
to make her look just like the character.
Right.
And then the other thing that they told me is, whatever you do, do not draw. Look, the book,
Got
like
you.
the book, and they're like, Disney doesn't own the rights to the book.
Okay.
It's owned by the artist that created it.
Wow.
And so they're like, don't draw it. Don't draw it. And so I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's a lot of
There's a lot of stuff
I
that
mean,
Disney doesn't own.
as I
It's
thought
crazy.
though, you're gonna get those rules and those guidelines, I guess. Is it difficult though? Was it hard working with these companies, or did they make it kind of not simple, but like kind of easier to work with?
They were really easy. Like for example, since I'm basically the artist for the company,
Right.
Like, they would come back with me with notes.
Okay.
So basically, like when I drew Sam, they were like, "Oh, so and so." The director said that he's missing a patch, like on the.
You're like shit.
Yeah, and I was like, "Okay, cool." I was like, I didn't even think about that. And the other one was like, "Oh, Disney's saying that like it still looks too much like them, so you need to make them more stylized." So it
Okay.
was like pretty like.
Okay, so it wasn't like
Difficult.
real, yeah, like dead end, like they don't like this, and
No. Luckily, no. Now there was one project that I literally like got like the bare minimum pay. There's another card company called Upper Deck.
Yep, I've heard of them.
And so Upper Deck has licenses with Marvel.
Okay.
and like just like Marvel and DC and stuff. And they were like, all right, cool. We need you to draw all these Marvel characters, right? But they were like, make sure they don't look like the movies. We have the license for the comics.
Got you.
And I was like, all right, cool. Like, all right, whatever. And I thought I did a great job. I spent like days and days working on this, and then they accepted none of them.
Wow.
They were like, we can't accept any of them because they look too much like the movies. And I was like,
What?
What?
Yeah.
and so they paid me like the minimum because what they do is they'll pay you more for like per card,
Right.
and then they pay you the base. And so they were like, we can't accept any of them. And I was like, oh.
And they don't keep it, do they? Like you get to keep
No,
your own.
well, actually, so I have them, but I am like legally have to mail them back, even if they're not accepted.
Oh wow.
Yeah, if, since I have them. They give you like envelopes, all this stuff, a contract, and they'll literally say like you need to mail us everything back, even though we're throwing them away. I guess they're like you can't keep them.
That's
What?
crazy.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
That sounds about right.
Well,
I mean, you think about the actors, right? When they're going on these press tours, and they try to ask him questions
They're
about
like,
these
"Oh, what
films,
did you take
they're
from the
just, hey
set?"
man, like you trying to kill me or what's up? You know what I mean?
Some of
That
them
is-
will be like, "Yeah, I took this," and
Yeah.
others like, "I didn't take nothing. I don't know what you're talking about."
that's crazy.
Another one for when I did tops for when I did Stranger Things for tops, they said whatever you do not draw Winona Ryder.
Okay.
You could draw anybody else.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who, just not her.
What?
Really?
Like I guess that's just like part of their contract. You can't have her like on merch or something. I don't know what it is, but they told me just do not.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. Dang.
These bigger
That's gonna make me
stars.
look at her different. Like, why? You too good for your merch, girl, or what? I mean, she's still awesome.
Yeah.
but-
She's still, yeah.
She's still the it girl, but still, what you got against merch? But I know you did some stuff too with some books. You did
So
Go
oh boy.
ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So there's the publisher is called Printed in Blood,
Hmm.
and they do licensed work with a bunch of different, I guess, properties. And then I got reached out to do a Stranger Things, and I'm a huge Stranger Things fan. I'm
Not scared of that.
No, because I'm obsessed with like 80s stuff.
Okay.
Like, I love 80s. And so when I knew it was set in the 80s, I was like, I'm sold.
This
Yeah.
is my
This
show.
is my thing. Yeah. So they said, we're doing this compilation of illustrations from different artists. We'd love it if you did one. So then I was like, yes, like sign me up. And then once I did that, they contacted me for a Halloween one. And so then that was the second one I did with them. They do a lot of stuff like even with like Aliens, the movies.
Yeah.
Their books are awesome. Like not even like my work. Like I'm like pretty proud while I'm working on it.
Yeah.
And then I get the book and I'm like, holy. Like,
Yeah.
like the other artists, all the other art in these books are like
Yeah,
amazing.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, I think that's so cool that you have your that people are reaching out for you to do all this amazing work. Like if anyone reached out to me to do anything like that, I think I'm like, wow, like
Yeah,
I
for
made
real.
it. I made it. You know, like
The cool thing was when people at Targets in like Boston have like I know that someone was like flipping through like the book and then they like flipped to it and then they like took a picture and they tagged me and I was like, wow, my book's in like Boston or whatever.
Yeah.
So my art's in like
Yeah.
that's what was like really mind blowing to me.
right. That's
That was
so
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Like even now. Like we do podcasts, like we interview people, but no one's ever had, like no one's asked us to do a podcast. So like the day someone asks us to do a podcast, I think I'm like flip out. I'm like, you want to interview me? Like, are you sure? Like that's when I'm like, okay. Like I think that would make me flip. Like,
I think that like that's how it always feels.
yeah.
I'm like it's funny because when I got asked to do another podcast and they do like a lot of like scary stories,
Yeah.
like things that have happened to like the guests or whatever. I was like, I don't have that many cool things. And then as I was thinking, I'm like, wait, I have had some creepy things happen. And then I feel like we all feel like we're not cool enough or
Right.
we don't have enough to say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I think we all do.
Everybody finds it. Everybody finds it.
Right. Especially it follows. That's for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did Halloween become one of your main avenues for your art?
I think that it kind of just like slowly started going that way. I started just having more friends that were in the community. This I don't know. I think he's like the art director or something at Not Scary Farm. Eric Nix. He contacted me to do Not Scary Farm, and it kind of just started like getting bigger and bigger and bigger because the first year I did Not Scary Farm, we had an artist table.
Okay.
And so basically, I could go, show up, work on stuff, and it was during Not Scary Farm,
Oh.
and it kind of like I started just throughout the years, I started falling more in love with it, like the whole scene, and even like Not Scary Farm and Universal. Okay, so before this, I think I've done like the Haunted Hayride. What was the one at the Queen Mary?
Oh, Dark
Dark
Harbor.
Dark Harbor.
And I was always like, my girlfriends would drag me. I'm like, I'm scared, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like getting startled. Like, I get startled for everything.
Yeah.
But then I remember we got invited to Not Scary Farm for their media night. So like different like influencers were there, and I told everybody, I'm like, I'm not gonna go through the mazes. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'll go to get some beers because they had everything. I'm like, and I'll chill and eat. And they're like, you have to. And then once I went through them, the thing that I loved about it was the creativity.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's what made me fall like in love with the whole scene and everything. And it's already been like, since it's been like 6 years.
Oh
So,
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not an artist at all, but we used to build this is way before Wicked, so to see the detail and the design work that goes into these mazes is what I think that's one of the reasons I fell in love with Universal Studios, because they take that to a whole. Now, granted, they're a movie studio, right? So if they didn't do it, then you'd be like, okay, come on, man.
Exactly.
But but when you see it, you're like, dude, we're in the middle of a parking lot, but it feels like I'm walking through a cornfield or I'm
Right,
walking
right,
through,
right.
a home or a morgue. It just blows my mind because it really puts you there mentally. You're like, damn.
Yeah, there was. I think that like, so I went not last year to Universal Horror Nights, but the year before, and I think that like two of the mazes that like really freaked me out, and it wasn't so much like a startling thing, it was just kind of creepy, was The Exorcist
Okay. Oh yeah.
and Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those
100%.
two, like, I was like, oh, when he
Yes.
comes out from the room, and I was like, oh, dude, like,
Where's the emergency exit?
Yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy. Like again, just that maze. That was the second year when you went through it, but the first year that we went through it, again, the detail, and they got the old man standing out, or the priest, I should say, staring up at the
Yep,
window.
yeah.
You're just like, bro, we're about to walk through this,
Yeah. It was creepy.
Or this past year, even with the Legends Collide in Florida, we got the opportunity to be in Florida to do that one too. I kid you not, I thought I was in Egypt. I was like, dude, we're
Yeah,
in
it was
Egypt.
pretty.
Like we're in Egypt right now, dude. We're not in a warehouse in the back of Universal Studios, Florida.
No, yeah,
like
yeah,
we're
yeah.
in Egypt. They
Yeah.
got a
It was
big old,
crazy.
sand and heads, and you're like,
Yeah.
bro.
And they could. I mean, I've had my brother and like a few friends go to the one in Universal. In Florida, but excuse me, they have like a lot more room. Right?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man.
It's huge.
And they do
It's
most
huge.
of their mazes on soundstage too.
Yes. Well, I don't know if it's a sound stage, but they're warehouses.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
just the length of these things.
They're
I mean,
long. The sound in there is crazy.
Yeah.
It's just way
the
different.
controlled weather in there, like they'll
Yeah.
be blasting AC, or they make it warm. It's
Heater,
crazy.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yes.
So I love it.
It's-
I love it.
yeah.
That's one thing. I hate to say it, but because I'm a big John Murdy, the creative director of Halloween Horror Nights here, I love him. But Florida's just on another level of
Yeah.
shit over there,
That's
dude. Like,
Oh yeah.
this last year we did one where there was a bunch of bugs.
They're
disgusting.
they're like not spin-offs, like their own mazes that they create.
Originals?
They're
The
originals.
Thanks. Was like couldn't think of it. Or they're really good still.
On point, yeah.
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 Like they like because over there they do like more original stuff.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think I'm more I'm a bigger fan of that
Yes.
because it's kind of not. I won't say easy, but like when you have like a property already, you kind of be like, all right, we just make it look
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
But when you're
Yep.
thinking, I gotta like make something completely original,
Right.
that just kind of like I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like I give them respect for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
100 yeah.
100%.
That's why the one that we went through. I don't know what was it called. I don't think it was called Bugs.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
remember.
like bugs
Something like
extermination or
that.
something.
So it was like
It looked like the cheesiest thing you could have seen.
yeah,
Dude,
and the
I love that.
outside.
I love
On the outside,
It looked like an old school
like an 80,
extermination
like a
ad.
70s, 80s ad.
yeah,
you know,
maybe
and-
even
and-
before.
Yeah, I mean, and you're like,
50s.
okay, this can't be like, come on,
Oh, it was
dude.
disgusting.
It was pretty gnarly.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
it was bad.
Okay.
They
The
had-
whole concept was like, okay, this is how we're gonna get rid of bugs, like kind of
Okay.
like a
Like
but they
the
use a
extermination
TV
process.
thing, and all it did was like mutate the bugs to where they're huge, and
It made
was
you
bad.
feel like you're a bug.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
okay. So it was just like it was kind of gross, and then they had spiders, and I can't do spiders, so I ended up
She
closing
has
my eyes.
arachnophobia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I was hiding behind Ashley. And
Yeah.
then I thought we were out of that scene, and then I opened my eyes and I look up, and there's a spider crawling down. And I was just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm
it
done."
I
did-
could see how that
I'm
could
done.
get to you. Then.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So what was one of your? When did you start doing in-person events?
It has to be at least like 8 years ago now.
Oh wow, okay.
7, 8 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they were different. Like the themes were different. Like,
Yeah.
they were just all over the place.
I wasn't always. It's not only Halloween.
No,
Yeah.
no. But yeah, it's been like 7 or 8 years now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
And,
and
go ahead.
since they're not my favorite, because I don't know how you guys feel, but they could be draining.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Like they're draining.
100%.
Um,
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and then just like I mean, it's important. Like especially like being the face of your company. Nobody wants to be like see like the company, like the faces of the company, like just sitting there like, hey,
Yeah.
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
So you're like, hey, how's it going?
Right.
Like, how are you? And you're like, whatever. And even that takes a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, it takes a toll
Yes.
because it's
Yeah.
like over and over
Yeah,
and
yeah.
over.
If you were at the booth and doing that, you would know.
You would know, but he
but
doesn't
you're
know.
not. So
This is true.
yeah. So
My
no,
time,
100%.
my time at booth work is over.
Yeah.
Right.
Never started, but definitely.
It's like you said though, they don't want to see me there. I'm more of
I'll
a,
be honest. Like, I don't know if it's true, but I've noticed I have a lot of female friends.
uh-huh.
And I'm like, man, you girls have it easier. Girl, and I think that it might be sometimes not easier, but I think women tend to be a little bit more easier to approach.
Right.
yeah.
So like, and I think a dude isn't as easy to approach sometimes.
100
You know?
million%.
I gotta hire a girl to.
To sit at the booth, right?
Sit here.
And sell for me, please and thank you. When you started doing Halloween events, was the community welcoming to you?
Oh yeah. Look, the thing that I think kind of drove me to even do more was the fact that people from Not Scary Farm that I saw started coming to see me at
Oh,
these
okay.
events.
Oh, how cool!
so
nice.
so it was really cool in that sense.
You're like, I already had a fan club.
Are you?
now.
Do you still work with the Knots people or?
I do. I haven't done their Not Scary Farm event for like I think one like last year.
Okay.
That's the first one I
Okay.
didn't do. But yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
So, what keeps you motivated? Like, what keeps you going? Like,
It's funny because I think that there's times where I'm just like not motivated at all. You're just like, and what I've learned is just like whenever that happens, I'm just like, all right, like I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna force it unless I have like work, actual like commissions or whatever. But I notice that whenever I just give myself a break, the motivation just comes back for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like a passion. So
Right.
I mean, it is a passion. So it's just always gonna be there.
sometimes a break's needed.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I need a break then, guys. No, I'm just kidding. So, what's your future goals? Like, what do you see yourself at in the 5 years?
For me, I would love to like do big projects with different companies and properties.
Yeah.
That's kind of like where my interest lies, is working with certain companies.
Right.
And still doing my own thing. Because like I still like I do a lot of my own art that isn't like horror or even like fan art based. And so like to be able to do like big things with certain companies and to continue to do like my own thing would be
Right.
like my passion.
Oh wow. So,
yeah.
a lot of like art and like drawing. A lot of people say that's their outlet, but that's like your job too. So, what is your outlet from art?
It's so funny because I feel like it's still my outlet.
Okay.
Like I'm stressed out and like just like, oh, okay, I'm like fixing the sketch and I'm like hyper focused on like drawing, hair, this person's hair, and it's just so soothing to do that. And so I think it's still my outlet.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I do like other things like working out or going out with friends and all that stuff as like kind of like de-stressors. But no matter what, I love drawing. Like I
Yeah.
genuinely love drawing.
Dang. Okay, so you're 100% like
Yeah.
That's his
Like,
passion.
this
that's
is
your
it.
passion.
And
Yeah.
also, I feel like I am constantly wanting to get better.
Okay.
Like I'm not like someone that's like, I'm good enough.
Yeah.
No. I'm like, no, this sucks. I gotta get better. Like, I gotta get better and better and better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So people can find you on Instagram, and where else can they can they shop your art?
Yeah, I have like an online store, and my like all my social media is Rey Paez art. That's
Yeah.
everywhere.
Simple.
Simple. Yeah, my name and art.
Can't miss it.
You can't mess that up. Do you have any upcoming events that they can shop with you in person or?
Yeah, I'm doing your guys'
Yeah.
event.
Oh,
and-
awesome. Yes, which is Market of the Monster, guys. Yeah, I plugged that in really smooth right there. Yeah, I set that up nicely.
The last one you guys did last year, I don't know which one it was, but I was like, oh,
Wicked Fest? Yeah.
it was like great.
Yeah?
I was not like I just didn't know what to expect. You know,
Yeah.
I've never done an event this over here.
Yeah.
And it was like massive.
Yeah.
Like it went really good.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. Thank you guys hearing that out
And we
there.
didn't
No,
we
I'm just
didn't pay
kidding.
him.
We
We
didn't
didn't
pay
pay
Did
to
not
say
pay
that.
for him to say that. But talking about Market of the Monsters, want to plug that in really quick. March 4th, coming very soon. It's like 2 weeks, 3 weeks out? 2 weeks out?
Something like
Three.
that.
March 4th, 12 to 7 here at our storefront in the parking lot. Address is 3525 East Highland Avenue, guys. So come check it out. All the information's on our Instagram, wicked_boutique, with all the vendors that will be here, including Rey Paez. So
Come get his artwork.
yeah, come get his artwork. Come
Yes.
visit him. Come visit us. There's gonna be a lot of fun going on. Hopefully, it's like that was work. No, I'm just kidding.
No way.
So
no way.
we always like to finish the interview with the last question. Did you want to ask it?
Sure. What would be your favorite horror film?
It's not even
No, you gotta say, what's your favorite scary movie?
See that? You know what? That's tough because I love the classics. You know,
Uh-huh.
which like Creatures in the Black Lagoon is like amazing. Like I love all those movies, but I wouldn't consider them scary.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You know what I mean?
But they fall in the genre.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So a recent one that I was, you know what I really like personally, I like Jeepers Creepers, the first
Ooh,
one.
oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That's a
Yeah.
good
That's a
one.
really good one.
That's a
though.
great
And
one.
to me, it kind of had like that vibe of like kind of classic.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
even though I was like just out of like high school, so,
Right.
but it feels different.
As long as you didn't say the remakes were the best. You
Oh,
know?
no.
Like, oh no.
No, okay. So actually, I saw like I was watching like the second one. Okay, whatever, it was cool, but then I haven't seen the last two.
Okay, me neither.
Don't.
I heard they're
They're
heard-
terrible.
Actually, Rick told me, he was like, "So don't watch it. Don't watch the new one." I was like, "Dang."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's-
I think the newest one came out like last year.
It was terrible.
And
too,
it
yeah.
lasted in theaters for like 2 days or something like
like a
that.
I'm gonna just keep it.
Yeah, keep to the original.
Yeah,
It's very the
yeah.
original's awesome.
Yeah.
We actually watched Jeepers Creepers at a drive-in. In
Yeah.
my
Oh,
dad's
yeah.
truck.
Yeah.
We're sitting outside, like
After that
Yeah.
movie, you were looking
we're
at
like, oh
Yeah.
crap!
Yeah.
Like
I did kind of realize one thing where I was like, this. It was kind of cheesy, but I love cheese. The part that cracked me up was the part where the girls, the ladies on the phone, like the psychic ladies on the phone, and she's like, yeah, you have a rose tattoo. And your like stomach, and then he pans down. He's got a little rose tattoo. The guy. I was like, why would a guy get a rose tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Hey,
Man. You never know.
people do some things nowadays. So that's funny. But
Any last?
any last questions? Any last comments, concerns, anything?
No. Any questions for us?
Yeah, I'm gonna come around more often.
There you go.
This is the first time I've been at your shop, so
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming out.
It's a little pushed to the side right now
Yeah.
since we are filming, but yeah, no. But again, thanks for coming out, Ray. We
thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Yes.
You know, it's
Thanks for
fun
having me.
talking to you. Give the people a little bit more background on you and the projects you've worked on.
No,
So
thank you so much.
thank you for making that drive,
Oh, thank you.
guys. Anything?
No.
Nope.
No. Thank you. For
Again,
coming out.
March 4th, though, if you guys want to see him, come on out. We'll be out here 12 to 7 p.m. that day, guys.
Yes.
Again, praying to the rain gods that they hold back that
know.
weekend.
Just that
So-
day. You can rain Sunday.
So, yes, but anyways, yes, March 4th, check us out. Again, Ray, thank you so much
Oh,
for coming
thank
out, man.
you.
We appreciate
Thank
it.
you guys.
Guys, with all that being said, again, everything will be linked down below. Go check him out. Shop his online store. With that being said, guys, thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one.